Hi and welcome to another edition of In the Mood to Scrap. I'm Wilna Furstenberg, and today's mood board is brought to you by the properpinwheel.com. I saw this amazing mood board on Pinterest and I emailed Lexi at this website and she gave me permission to use it as my inspiration. And I cannot begin to tell you how much I loved it. When I saw it the first time, I knew I had to use it as the inspiration for a scrapbook page. This mood board consists of business cards that she gathered at a design summit. So every single little business card is a work of art. And this mood board not only inspired the color of my page, but also the structure and the layout, the design part of it. So first of all, I'm going to show you the products that I chose to use on my page. And as you can see, a lot of aqua colors and yellow, splashes of yellow. So I wanted to keep that beautiful tones of whites, yellows, and the aqua that is so popular right now. So I'm using some Maya Road butterflies and some Dear Lizzie chipboard pieces. There's one specific one that I'm going to use, that yellow circle, that one. Also some freckled fawn arrows, wood veneer arrows. I love those little clothespins by Amy Tangerine, and the colors are perfect for this page. This is a life stencil cards by Fancy Pants, life stencil cards by Fancy Pants. And they are, you can see the life one I painted, and I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to use it, but that's the plan. Then I'm also using some Glitz Love You Madly peekaboos. They're transparent shapes, which is beautiful. Some more stickers by Dear Lizzie, and again I love the yellows and the blues in that green blue. That paper is from 14 by Crate, some Dear Lizzie paper, the other yellow, and that grey polkas are from Dear Lizzie as well. I'm also going to be using the Glitz roller stamps, which I fell in love with as soon as I saw them, and some Technique Tuesday stamps. This specific one is not in the shop anymore, but there are multiple Technique Tuesday stamps that will work perfectly. And then I have artist trading cards that I'm going to use as the basis of my layout. And they measure 3.5 inches by 2.5 inches. You can just cut up a piece of white cardstock to that size. I think these ones I bought at Michael's at some stage. October afternoon label stickers, and then I'm going to use these gelatos in a fun way that I'll explain a little later. That's the fun part of the layout. Right, starting with some American Craft heavy weight cardstock. I'm going to be rolling you can see how I lift the stamp as I roll it in the ink. And what I want to do now is I want to roll one line and then ink it a bit, but I want to go from dark to light. So I'm just going to ink it and roll it on the side, and now roll it on my paper. So you can see that I create that ombre effect from dark to light. I just want ink on it. So what I'm doing here is create more of a texture on my page. I'm just going to add a little darker. I'm not going to overdo it, but I want that light arrow effect. So there you go. This is the background page. This part of the mood board inspired me to do what I'm going to do next. That little bag with the faded color. And I'm going to use some gelato. So what you do is you spray your piece of paper with some mist, just water, and then you color on it, and you can add more mist, and then you'll see how lovely it blends, and you can just use your fingers to blend the colors. And that's exactly the only thing I wanted. So I'm going to do it again with different colors, a little water, and then some gelatos, and these you can buy in the two-piece store, and just blend it with your fingers. And you can add some more color if you want to, and now you can just blend it. So I'm going to put that away for later. And the next thing I'm going to show you is how to stamp with gelatos. Now, this business card, lovely indeed, inspired it. And I don't know if you can see it in the mood board, but the card was embossed. But I'm not going to emboss it, but I'm going to try to create that embossed effect. So you take your stamp and you color it with your gelato, and then just spray it twice, quickly, very lightly. I missed a spot there, that's why I just covered it. And now you're going to stamp it. Now hold it down really, really tight and hard. And there you can see that it's stamped almost to this beautiful, beautiful embossed effect. And I'm going to show you a couple of more ways to stamp with the gelatos. So I'm just taking that exact same inked stamp, and I just add a little bit of water with it with a brush. And now I'm going to stamp again, and you'll see the effect is different. It has a more of a watercolor feel to it, and I love that one as well. So now I cleaned it a bit, and I'm going to use different colors on it. So just clean it with a brush and some water, and now I'm going to add different colors on it, faded colors like a light yellow, orange, and a dark orange, a little spray. And let me show you how beautiful that stamp. You have to hold it down tight so that the water gets time to flow, and you can see how pretty this looks. I just love that. And one more where I'm going to paint over the stamps with a little bit more water. I'll show you how I'm going to paint over the stamped. I am tongue twisted today. So there, I'm just going to spray it again, and I'm going to stamp it again. And now I'm going to take a little bit of water and just on the brush, clean brush with a little water, and I'm just going to paint it. And you can see how lovely the colors flow, and it's such a fun way to use stamps. And you can do it with any of those colors that you can see there. So I'm going to choose between the 4 cards which one I want on my layout. And I will decide that once I'm getting ready to finish the layout. Right, here you can see the 4 cards together, and if you want to clean your brush, just add some water with it and just keep on stamping it on a paper towel, and it will clean very nicely, as you can see I did there. Okay, let's try one more. And you can see literally 5 different ways to stamp with gelatos and the different effect you get on each of them. But I love the colors, and I love the flow of the colors and the watercolor effect. Right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this butterfly with some blue-green paint. And this was inspired by one of the cards on the mood board that had like a diamond cut shape with some of this beautiful aqua stripes on it. and that's what I thought I'll add to my layout. So you can just see how simple that is. Just some acrylic paint and just paint it across the butterfly. Right, now I'm going to start looking at my page. I added some Dear Lizzie stickers to my artist trading cards, and I'm just going to lay down some, that's a die cut I did with my silhouette. That little envelope is by Basic Grey. That's the picture I'm going to use. And now I'm just going to lay them down just to see where I want all the elements. And my basic thinking is I want some blue and yellow in combination, but I want it soft and I want it white. And I want the feel of it to be exactly like the mood board. So I'm going to add that heart. The hearts are also a die cut, a silhouette die cut. And I'm just going to add 3 different colors of yellow to the back of it so you can see how pretty that looks. A little bit of the gold polka dot paper by Dear Lizzie at the back of my picture. A butterfly with a button that says home. Just gonna play with pieces of paper and just see where we go with this. So I just want to create little layers upon layers, and that's what I did with layering the artist trading cards on little strips of paper. Like this card that I'm working on now, I just backed it up to one of the cards that I painted with the gelatos and just folded the edges back so that it shows a little bit, it gives a little bit of dimension. So it's just little peaks of color, and that's exactly what I love about that. So that is a Dear Lizzie gold sticker, and I just want to color the edges with a little bit of glitter. So I add some Tombow paint, not paint, glue, excuse me. And then I just added some glitter, and I think that little bit of bling to that love word that's also gold is just so beautiful and subtle and lovely to look at. So just taking my lint roller to remove the excess glitter, a little tip there. Right, and now just keep on adding embellishments. That You Make Me Smile is one of the transparent embellishments by Glitz. Just adding the little pocket by Basic Grey on that sunset piece and that rose die cut, which I love. And I'm going to use that same die cut in an upcoming 2-piece page as well. And just little bits of hot glue. I'm going to cut a little bigger piece of the polka dot, the gold polka dots, to frame the picture a little better. And that piece that I discarded, I will keep it and cherish it and use it again because I love this paper. Right, now I want to add some ink splatters, and I'm just pulling back the shot to show you how I'm going to do it. I have a big brush, a big round brush that I bought especially for this. You can see how big it is, and I'm going to open the Buttercup by Studio Calico, and I'm just going to wet my brush and dip it right into the bottle, and now I'm just going to let it drip, and you can see it makes the most perfect little ink splatters possible. And that's the only reason I bought this brush, is to create those beautiful paint splatters. And then just a tip, if you work with ink or any kind of paint on your brush, just clean your brush immediately and let it dry. You can see how beautiful those paint drops are, and I'm gonna use my embossing tool to dry it, because then it dries very opaque and beautiful. So we're almost done with the page. I love how it's coming together. I'm going to add some journaling on that October afternoon sticker, and I'm going to add more journaling on that piece of paper that I added into that basic gray envelope. I think it's just the perfect combination of yellow and blue, and it reminds me a lot of the mood board. I'm using some Dear Lizzie paper to back it up to, and here you can see some details of the page. I am going to distress the edge of the white cardstock, the background, and I'm going to stitch it down, and you can see that in the final page on Two Peas in a Bucket. Thank you so much for watching the video, and see you next month.